Hello, everybody, and welcome to this video where today we're going to be talking about Septuagenarian Stew, Stories and Poems by Charles Bukowski. For those of you who don't know, Septuagenarian is a person in their 70s, from 70 to 79. This is a book Bukowski wrote, apparently, after he was 70, or when he turned 70, and it was for Neely Tchaikovsky, the author of this book, which, from what I could tell, doesn't have a poem about Bukowski in it. I think that's kind of weird. So we're going to be reading, we're going to just do the first page of the table of contents. So Rags, Bottles, and Sacks on page 13, down to Camille, a short story on page 162. One of the things that I really dug about how this book is put together, and I haven't finished it, I have that much more to go. But one of the things that's interesting about this book is that the way the poems and stuff are set up, it goes through his life chronologically. Like the poems in the beginning are about his childhood, and even the stories, like Son of Satan, is about him as a kid. Anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about stuff. Right now, we're just gonna start going through and seeing what sticks out. The poems are a lot longer, and if you remember, but they're very sparse. And if you remember what the poems looked like in Rooming House, which was the last book we did, they're really chunky and all over the place. And these are just little things like this. Yeah, it just goes on and on and on. Streetcar is a good one. The movie critics, about his parents and the guy the mom had a crush on. And Son of Satan is him and his friends picking on some kid in the neighborhood. Flying Through Space, we're in junior high school now. And it's just I like how he put the book together. And then The Burning of the Dream. This poem's pretty good too. It's about when he found out that the LA Public Library burned down, and just the sadness he had as an adult, a man in his old age, thinking about all the time that he spent there. And then this one, Cancer, we're going to read this one now, because this is one of really the only poems that he wrote about his mother's passing. He's written a lot of stuff about his dad and a lot of stuff about his dad passing. And when he would write about his mother, it would be more in she was just a co-star in the drama, the tragedy that was him and his father. So Cancer on page 49 in the Echo edition. Echo, right? Yeah, Echo. I found her room at the top of the stairway. She was alone. "Hello, Henry," she said. Then, "You know I hate this room. There's no window." I had a terrible hangover. The smell was unbearable. I felt as if I was going to vomit. "They operated on me 2 days ago," she said. I felt better the next day, but now it's the same, maybe worse. "I'm sorry, Mom. You know you were right. Your father is a terrible man." "Poor woman, a brutal husband and an alcoholic son." "Excuse me, Mom, I'll be right back." The smell had seeped into me. My stomach was jumping. I got out of the room and walked halfway down the stairs, sat there holding onto the railing. Breathing the fresh air. The poor woman. I kept breathing the air and managed not to vomit. I got up and walked back up the stairs into the room. "He had me committed into a mental institution. Did you know that?" "Yes, I informed them that they had the wrong person in there." "You look sick, Henry. Are you all right?" "I am sick today, Mom. I'm going to come back tomorrow and see you." "All right, Henry." I got up, closed the door, then ran down the stairs. I got outside to a rose garden. I let it all go in the rose garden. Poor damned woman. The next day, I arrived with flowers. I went up the stairway to the door. There was a wreath on the door. I tried the door anyhow. It was locked. I walked down the stairway, through the rose garden, and out to the street where my car was parked. There were two little girls, about 6 or 7 years old, walking home from school. "Pardon me, ladies, would you like some flowers?" They just stopped and stared at me. "Here," I handed the bouquet to the taller of the girls. "Now you divide these. Please give your friend half of them." "Thank you," the taller girl said. "They are very beautiful." "Yes, they are," said the other girl. "Thank you very much." They just walked off down the street, and I got into my car. It started, and I drove back to my place. If I'm mistaken, please let me know, but I think that's the only really thing he's written that speaks of his mom's passing. The short stories in here, for the most part, are pretty good. Life of a Bum is pretty funny. It has a very heavy lull in it, and then at the end it gets really good. I'll just leave it at that. The Girls and the Birds, My Best Friend, If You Let Them Kill You, They Will. Sometimes it's easier to kill somebody else. That was one of his suicide attempts. It's called A Day, and it's about working at the light fixture place. So what year would this be now? This is probably, is this late 20s for him? I don't know. Let me see. Oh yeah, this is when he wasn't packing the things good enough. And these are more about his drunk period, his 10-year drunk that wasn't a 10-year drunk. Vengeance of the Damned. Oh, this one's funny. This is about being at like the Union Rescue Mission, and them, like this one guy going, there's a lot of us here. Like if we all got together, we could like take over this town and all this other stuff. And they put this whole plan together, and then it goes horribly wrong. So that's pretty good. The Great Slob. I have this one marked here. I was always a natural slob. I liked to lay upon the bed in undershirt, stained of course, and with cigarette holes, shoes off, beer bottle in hand, trying to shake off a difficult night. Say, with a woman still around, walking the floor, complaining about this and that, and I'd work up a belch and say, "Hey, you don't like it? Then get your ass out of here." I really loved myself. I really loved my slob self, and they seemed to also. Always leaving, but almost always coming back. I don't know why I marked that one, actually. What is this about? Floating away? Yeah. Action, which one is it? Oh, this is when he was doing better, and people at the track, like the more upper crust of the track, started wanting to like talk to him because they were fans of his work. Let's see. So these are like racetrack poems now. Night quarter horse racing at Hollywood Park. The Click of a Miracle. At the quarter horse meet at Hollywood Park around 5 p.m., if you are sitting at ground level in the pavilion, the track appears to be above you, and in the strange shadow sunlight, the silks are so bright, the color is like fresh paint on canvas, and the faces of the jocks look heroic. It's a grand time, then a perfect and peaceful photograph, dreamlike. Such small moments keep people alive. Such small moments, so large when it all comes together and holds. poem about going to Caliente and TJ racetrack, and then a short story called The Jockey, which is actually really funny. It's really good. And then The Guillotine. This is kind of a poem, sort of, but I'm just like, I marked this for some reason, so I'm just going to read this little section here. I listened to somebody badmouth a horse, and then I bet it. This is much better than any racing form. I used to go to the track with a girlfriend, and I'd see who she was betting in each race. If she bet the favorite, I'd bet the second favorite. If she bet the second favorite, I'd bet the favorite. If she bet the third favorite, I'd bet the second favorite. During all the time I went to the track with her, I only lost once. She never won. It pissed her off so much, she quit seeing me. I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't do it like this, but I had an ex that was like this. She would always try to do all the things, like bet the pick sixes, bet all the things in a race, but then she always wanted to also bet like at least a win, usually an exacta, but a win. And I would wait to see who she was gonna bet. And the days that I did shitty is when we were betting the same horses. And she never won. She never won. I think one time she won a pick 5, but didn't actually bet in any of the races. And it was a shit day, and so it was all like short odd fucking favorites that won that day. So like I think she only won like, I don't know, it probably cost her like $45 to make the bet, because she would pick like 4 or 5 horses in each race. And I think she only won, like I think it cost her like, I'm trying to remember it. Something was like it cost her $65 to make the bet, and she only won like $32.50. But she won, and that was what was important, even though she didn't win any money. Anyway, she hated when I won. She hated it. And then she's like, I'm never doing this again. And I'm like, good. And then like as soon as the form would come out for Friday, she'd be like, are we gonna do the track? Oh my God, so funny. The angel and the asshole. And this is more racetrack poems about him being a writer. And then we actually have some stuff about him being a writer. And now, this short story about Camus. Not about Camus, but it's called Camus. Oh, about him. He's a modern lit professor. So anyway, so that is the first part of Septuagenarian Stew. We went through his childhood, the death of his mother, him bumming around, doing the drunk thing. Doesn't spend a whole lot of time on that, and then spends a lot of time talking about the horses, and then finally gets into what it is like being a writer. And next time we will be doing the next page in the table of contents that starts with too much on 166 down to my father on 283. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 short stories in there too. So that'll be fun. Okay. So hopefully we'll have that up by next week. If you haven't checked out the Bukowski pod yet that I did with Ethan McGuire talking about poems and insults, you could listen to that wherever you listen to podcasts, I guess. Okay. So let me know which one of these are your favorite, which ones you like, and leave it down below. Type hard, get out there, be a writer, do the thing, and I will talk to you all later.